Alright guys, well, we're going to go ahead and make this video here, and I'm going to... we got Jacob's truck here. We actually did this truck. This is a problem. We have a problem. Seems like it sucks not being perfect. It sucks. Pain in the ass. I know that I'm the only, we are the only shop out there that are not perfect. Just ask all the other shops. They'll tell you, they're perfect. They never have issues. Well, I got a freaking big old issue. Okay, Jacob's truck. We had a problem. What he said was he had a slight rattling, sound like valve train noise under deceleration. Okay, and after talking to him, Jacob's a smart kid. He, and I've always said that a guy knows his truck. So, I don't need nobody's approval. Even though, and honestly, those more business-minded than me people would say bull crap. We did this truck in 2017. So it's been quite a couple years. And, we kind of went through and, he had a cracked front cover, whatever. So we went through, he got a full set of injectors, got rotating assembly all done, and we bought new rods. I think it's 10 over. I haven't measured the pistons yet, but 10 over, just total engine rebuild. Okay, valve train noise. So I was like, oh, would I have loved to have been sitting right here about 4 days ago, but it doesn't really matter. But, when it came down to it, this is what, here's his turbo after 60 some odd thousand miles. I don't think it's not quite 70,000 miles. That's what he's got on it. A little bit of grime, whatever. It's a freaking truck and it runs down the road. Okay, so a little bit of rattle at deceleration. I've heard that before. A lot of times if lifter's starting to give way, when you're decelerating, it's weird I don't really know everything about the harmonics of it, but it will clatter around in there if we got a camshaft issue. And so I was like, well, you know what? Maybe one of them Ford lifters took a crap, which they did not. There's a little line in that one. They didn't. Lifters are all good, but these lifters are trash. I basically just have it set up here because we took them off for inspection. Had the rockers all covered up, but not a lifter. Lifters are good. I was bummed. I was like, really? What the hell happened? What's going on? Okay, but then we had, the first thing was I pulled the oil filter. When we first started to pull the oil filter, it's not good. I know you can't really see it because it's all dirty, but it's not good. It's bad. It was bad. I pulled that oil filter, done. I don't need Jacob's approval for cab off, engine out. Because, this is kind of it's a crappy deal. We can't leave. We can't leave. Jacob busted his butt for this truck, paid to have it all done. He tried to do things how they're supposed to, how he would feel that, they should be done. So I tore the block apart. 70,000 mile block of us. A little bit of grime down there. Just some of that wetness is from us actually taking it apart because I'll spray on it. But definitely not nasty. A little bit of grime there. The rest of it's pretty freaking clean. Cylinders look all right. They took a couple of lines in them. But I'm going to show you here in a minute what it is. What a freaking drag. But so we bought a full set of rods, right? And there's that full set of rods right there. Try to do what we could by buying some new. They were one of the last of the new 6-liter connecting rods from Ford. You cannot buy these new rods anymore. They're broken. Hang on. Look at Andrew's truck. Darian just pulled an injector out of it. Let's see if we can focus on it. Yeah, it's off the wall. It's nothing to do with nothing, but I'm not gonna waste time. It's a cracked injector, cracked tip. All right, so he bought a full set of rods. Ford rods. Okay, you would think something like this, okay? Look at this. The bushing completely disintegrated. The rod bushing. Now, oh, sorry. Now, you know, these were new rods. My fault. You know, we could have put bushings in it and who knows. I mean, these parts are on my nerves, guys. On my nerves. I mean, it ain't just this one. It ain't just this one. Look, there is a defect in these rods. You see that? Bushing's breaking out. I think, look at that one. Bushing. I mean, it's all bushing. Broken. 5 of the rods appear to be okay, but I'm not trusting any of the bushings. All the bushings got to go. Or the rods got to go. I guess I need to pull the bushings out, check the bores, and press in some new bushings, which, I mean, I've got I don't have the tooling, but I had tooling made to press in tapered rod bushings. So hang on, I'll show you. All right, well, when we put them in, and I'm really doubting that I want to use these anymore. That's the part number for the 6-liter rod bushings. They come square, you have to sand them down. That's when I got all shitty about the Jasper thing. See, if you're taking weight off, do it off the end like that. You don't have to make the rod, and that's just to balance. They were sanding away at this just out of sheer negligence, just holding it on there and letting her eat. But hang on. I mean, I got a whole bunch of these rod bushings. I mean, bunches and bunches of them. Okay, use this little guy right here. Now, don't ask me to make it. Joe down the street made it for me. That goes in there. It's tapered on it, and that hit that with a dead blow right there. I do it by hand. I do it all by hand. I put them all in by hand, everything, because, I mean, you can feel it more. It's not, we don't have to put a bunch of per square inch pressure on it. Okay, so that gets it out. You can see I mushroomed it a little bit. I mean, you got to kind of wail on it a little bit to get it. Dead blow really doesn't work. You kind of got to smack it. We'll have to turn that down a little bit, fix the mushrooming, but whatever. Concept works. That removes the old bushing. Okay, I'm only making this video, honestly, to show people that we actually can do tapered rods. Now, this is impossible with one freaking hand. Look, I've got this thing located where this goes on the rod right there. Okay, look. It's part of the rod. It sits on there. Okay, and it's got a little locate out of there, so hang on. Now, in my mind, I would much rather have the joint be where the most meat is, so we don't cut the joint away. But I mean, I'm not closed-minded on that thought process, but I would normally put the brake on there. Now, if I had both hands, then hang on. All right, we got Tanner to run it. Okay, this is how it goes. This locate's a little loose, but the little flange that I've got right here. Let me see if well, you can see how tight it is. That flange right there, that surface is within a couple of tenths, which it has to be lined up. Hang on, I'm screwing up here. This is what happens when you take it all apart, trying to show some stuff when it doesn't really. It goes in and locates right there, okay? Kind of like a wrist pin, it's got to be tight. And then put your brake in the middle. Put that on there like that. Now this is where it gets touchy. This is why I do it by hand. I am not going to install this because this rod has not been done, and that is not a cheap freaking bushing. So I'll take this little thing right here, and I will lightly tap it. And sometimes will hit it hard, and I'll hit that and kind of like use it as a slide hammer, and it will start this in the hole. Now everything is located, and I've got the gap there. So that is what I'm talking about when I say it galls. What could be happening on these is when this is happening, if this is not put in straight, it will peel material off of the rod bushing, and you'll have what's called galling. There'll be pieces of metal, like ribbon. It looks like ribbon of metal because it was not completely located and it did not get a clean press on. If you get no galling, I mean, a little bit's normal, just a hair, but if it's peeling up off of there, which I bet you that's what they did, then, you know, I mean, you can't use it. It sucks. But see this little guy right here, I would take this, I would tap this in till it's just about a quarter of the way in, and then I would take it out of here and then turn, oh look, it stayed. That would be there. Then I would turn it around and I would hit that. Once I get it to where I believe that it's straight, I'll turn the tool around and I'll hit it on there. And then you can go and actually put this inside of there once it's up there on it and you're going like this and you're pressing it. It actually works really freaking good. That is not a tool. Don't ask me to buy that tool. It'd be so much damn money, you might as well just forget about it. Because it was like, you know, came out of an idea and a thought and then a lathe. And a guy better than me running the lathe. So, okay, so that's tapered rod bushings. We can do them. You know, I mean, we have a setup here that works phenomenally well to do it. Now, the problem I'm seeing is now, was it galling? What is up? Why is that like that? What happened? Okay, what do you call that? Failure analysis, basically. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was horrible. I mean, what are the odds that they galled all of them, or most of them? Most of them are throwing chunks out of it. Because if they did put metal off of it and it was, if they put metal out of it and it was curling up as they pressed this bushing in, when they get the bushing all the way in, the metal that was curled out of there will result in an air pocket in between the rod bushing and the connecting rod. And I mean, that's just all theory, right? I mean, I wasn't watching it happen, so I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, I'm just throwing. But if there is, it would act like Jacob said, it would be a double pane window, right? It will be insulating the heat from getting to the rod to escape. Because that's how, when the wrist pin is touching the rod bushing will transfer heat straight into the connecting rod and the piston cooling jets on it. It's being cooled off it. If there is an air pocket behind that bushing is going to get ridiculously hot because it has nowhere to take the heat. The oil can barely get to it. You know, that's my thought. But in the meantime, you know, I put this truck together 60 some odd thousand miles ago and we got a problem. I had another truck that had a problem too, but, well, I mean, he sold the truck. He didn't even let me look at it. It was 6.4, but he sold it, you know, I mean, all right, I guess I'm dusting my hands of that little son of a gun, but, no hard feelings, hell with it. I mean, whatever, you know, but don't you think for a freaking damn second, like what, I'm doing it right freaking now, and I've done we've done 4 of them in the whole 5 of them maybe in the history of the company that we've had massive cab off issues with. We've done a whole freaking, I mean, yeah, here's another one. Which that rod, man, what are you going to say about that rod bushing? You know, at least we went ahead and I just jumped right in and took the damn thing apart. I didn't really want that spinning anymore because I really do think if I can either pin it, I don't know about staking it, that powder cracked rod right there might freaking shatter if we try to stake it. I don't know. But pin it, do something. Put a pin in it, do whatever. I mean, you know, we got to have an answer to it because this is by far not the first rod bushing I've seen spin. They spin all the damn time. Well, I say all the time, but at least 50%. Every bit. Like 50% of all engines will have at least one rod bushing that is starting to spin. All of them will. And, you know, I guess that's where the 6.4 is pretty nice because, you know, they don't have any more. They don't have any bushings. It's straight to connecting rod. The machine is what it is. So we don't have to worry about a bushing spinning. But that's my thought. We're going to go ahead and, I mean, we're just get it out, get it all cleaned up, make a decision on which way we're going to go with the rods. I have not made that decision yet. So once I do, I mean, we'll, you know, it'll be done. We'll figure it out. But that piston screwed up. And then I don't know what to do with the rest of the pistons. I mean, I don't even know, because that piston is trash. And I think a couple of the other ones were trash too. The wrist pin did not want to come out. I wound up, I damn near pressed them out. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking, I mean, got to weight match another set of pistons. We need to get the engine, I'm pretty sure I still have it. Our record keeping is getting better every year, right? So, I mean, I should have on paper what his bob weights are, what his rods weigh, what his pistons weigh. I should have all that info. So, you know, I mean, it'll be pretty easy to weight match it. So, I just got to do it, which sucks, but whatever. We'll, I don't know. We'll get this one done. We'll dust ourselves off, and we'll, you know, hopefully look for greener pastures one day. Because right now it's a pretty bleak moment. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, anybody that thinks that this ain't a big deal, well, kiss my ass. I mean, I guess, because this is a huge freaking deal. And I honestly, with how Jacob has been, and I mean, he don't deserve this. So we'll just go ahead. I mean, I don't need his approval to yank the freaking cab off. I don't need none of that shit. I just did it. He was waiting on the Diag video to get uploaded, and then he saw in the live video that I had the cab off of it and was yanking the engine out. So, you know, that hopefully he feels safe and secure about his investment to have us build his engine, right? I mean, that's the thing. But the other side of that coin is, man, things suck. Look at this. I mean, how much more incentive do I have to keep building engines? I might as well just ride with the busted ass freaking rods and or, you know, revamp my whole process, find some new bushings, figure out a new way to stake it in, because this is now a problem for me as well, because I now have an engine tore apart and I'm not sure how I'm going to fix it. What procedure we're going to go through yeah. I mean, if it wouldn't warp the hell out of it, I wouldn't mind freaking building up the metal and honing the metal out and making it a 6.4 rod. You know, because we never have issues. Look at the bearings. They're not damaged, but they sure did get cleaned up. Because that was, I mean, it was little pieces. There was really not a lot of big stuff, but it sure did sandblast the hell out of the bearings. So we'll make sure we polish the crank back again. And, you know, he's getting full set of bearings, lifters, all that shit. Everything that pretty much touches oil, you know, has got to be gone through, because I'm not real keen on sending an engine out that's got metal in it after it's been on the stand. Might as well take it all the way apart, clean it up, and replace, like, oil cooler. You know, freaking oil cooler was good. Now it's not, because it's got metal on the oil side, so that means it's done. I don't care how good your numbers are, it's done. It's got metal on the oil side. That is the other adverse area of the oil cooler. If you have a mechanical failure that puts shrapnel in the engine, basically, you know, contaminants, metal, then, I mean, you're pretty much host. I mean, you know, stuff like this. These are the little parts that were in the bottom of the pan and kind of spread throughout. I mean, it's got metal in it, you know, that I wasn't going to let that ride. No way. But it still sucks. So, that's Jacob's truck. I'm going to kind of probably pout for another little bit, you know, figure out which way to go. And then once we make the decision, we can go with it. We'll put a new pilot bearing in it. We're going to probably throw a new throwout bearing in it. Heck with this clutch, looks great. Always put a slave cylinder in. Every time. I don't give a damn. If you don't have enough money to buy a slave cylinder, you don't have enough money to take the cab off. Because my experience has been that will not last after being taken apart. It might work for a while, but the end-all way is to just buy the new slave cylinder assembly. I don't know how much they are now. They used to be under $200. So for $200 and I have to mess with it, yeah, I'm doing that. Because I've been burnt by it before. Actually had a transmission go out. Well, the transmission went out because he was driving, not him, not the owner, it was a family member, was driving the truck, grinding it into gear because the clutch was not engaging, because the slave cylinder was fucked up. Well, I hate to say it, man, but if you're grinding your truck into gear that much that it basically tears the transmission up, because the slave cylinder's messed up, that's on you. I'm not buying you a transmission. I'm not doing it. If it's grinding away and you got to basically damn near, I think they was shutting the truck off to put it in gear and then firing it back up. But then if they got caught in traffic or something, they wind up grinding the hell out of it. Whatever. But so that was a lesson learned right there. And that little plastic piece, the little plastic pivot point, you could replace that too. That's a pretty cheap part, might as well. But we can look, could show the deck surfaces. They're all over there, but we can look at the head gaskets. They look good. Got a little bit of that yellow stuff in the middle. I think that's WD-40. I don't know. Like I said, guys, I don't know all the science behind all this crap. There's people out there that just, they want to study stuff so freaking much so that they, can be smart. I think I like to think that we're studying the things that are worth studying, that we need to study. Studying the problems, like spun rod freaking bushings. I don't give a damn that your alternator puts out 14.2 amps and 14 volts at 167 amps in it. I don't care about none of that. I don't care. I did 850,000 miles on a truck with a stock alternator and a stock system. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. But, oh well, that's besides the point. Who cares? I'm rambling because I'm trying to think of anything else that I might have forgotten to kind of highlight on the video. His injectors are already clean. They're already in oil. But Jacob's truck got a massive problem. Let's figure out which way we're going to go. That's it. Have a good day.